Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, August 22nd, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am divine love. And today we have our official last day of Sun in Leo and so much to dig into. I just wanted to take a moment. Thank you for all the birthday wishes for Joe and the get well soon wishes. He is healing. You may hear him in the background mixing something. So thank you. We appreciate all of your support on all of the layers. That being said, so much to dig into. I want to dig into Mars in Gemini, which is huge, but I think let's just take a quick glance at this week ahead really fast, and then we can dig into that. This week ahead, we are going to have the Sun moving into Virgo. That's actually going to happen late Monday night, early Tuesday morning, depending where you're living. Looks like it's shifting at 8:16 p.m. Pacific time. We will cover that in tomorrow's scope because I will have my video up by then. But just be aware that shift is coming in. And remember, it's always so important to really hold the lesson of the sign before. So that being said, today's a really great day to focus on the love vibes a la Leo. This week we're also going to have Uranus going retrograde. That's going to be on Wednesday. And that comes along with Mercury finishing up in Virgo. So we're going to have some really strong electrical vibes this week, Wednesday, Thursday. Anytime Uranus shifts, it can feel kind of like a Mercury retrograde. That being said, we do have Mercury already in its shadow point. So just be prepared for some shenanigans around communications, around technology. Be ready to be grounded or to ground yourself. The universe may ground you, I don't know. But just be aware of that energy all coming in. Finally, we are also going to be in Dark of the Moon as we have a new moon coming in on Saturday. So lots going on this week. That being said, let's dig into this Mars energy. This Mars in Gemini energy is huge. Mars is usually through a sign, within the time of like 2 months. So the fact that Mars is going to be in the sign of Gemini all the way into March of 2023 means we're going to have a really long time to really get to the root of this lesson. Now, Gemini energy brings change, and I think that that's needed in this transit. I think that's been part of the frustration as we've been going through these Saturn-Uranus squares, because both Saturn and Uranus want that evolution. Both of them want the progress, but it's kind of been this slow and steady wins the race kind of energy. So Mars, the planet of action, moving into Gemini, a sign representing change, can accelerate change. That being said, we really want to, again, lean into our foundation of Taurus that comes before Gemini. So with Taurus, we know our values, right? We've been so focused on that with the North Node continuing through the sign of Taurus. Knowing, honoring, leaning into our values is so important. Leaning into the process of creation is very important in this energy. This is important because I've said this so many times, but I think it always bears repeating. I have a Gemini rising, and this is something that I've discovered very strongly about Gemini. Gemini energy is like a sponge for new information. So Gemini may not even realize that it's listening, absorbing, picking up information until it ends up regurgitating it, being like, oh, where did I hear that? Where did I learn that? With Mars and Gemini, all of us can start absorbing and then acting on information that we've picked up. And sometimes Gemini will make the giver of the information an authority, which means, oh, it must be true. You know, like it's kind of like the internet has become the authority. It's on the internet, it must be true, right? No, definitely not. So we want to be very aware of this and very aware of what our personal values are. Now, this doesn't mean that your values may not change, right? This is a strong energy of change. They might, and that's wonderful and beautiful if they do and it feels aligned. However, if we are taking action of change that doesn't align with our values, then we are going to get very incongruent in this energy. So we want to be super aware of that. I think this is going to be, especially the beginning of this transit, a really important time to really recognize as well our communication patterns, misunderstandings that happen all the time. We all see things through our own lenses. We all see things through our own perspective, through our own situational awareness. And so with Mars in Gemini, it feels like fights could start, especially with Mercury retrograde incoming, right? That fights or disputes can start over misunderstandings. Mars does have that war energy. Now Gemini is like, let's just be good. Let's just keep it okay. Like, can we just be okay, right? But the Mars energy is like, nope. Some things are worth fighting for. So be aware that miscommunications, misunderstandings, and the reactions of that may be expanded during this time. Probably especially when Mars. Well, I would say this as well. When Mercury goes retrograde, and then later when Mars goes retrograde. Mars will be retrograding at the end of October. So something to be aware of as we build into this. I think it's also going to be a time of rapid learning, rapid growth, and you may find yourself getting interested in things that you've never been interested in before. And again, if this aligns with your values or even shifts your values in ways, again, that feels aligned, this is wonderful. You know, Gemini is balanced by Sagittarius. So Gemini is like where we're learning new stuff, and Sagittarius is where we can lean into wisdom. And so staying in balance with that, like staying in tune with our beliefs, staying in tune with wisdom is going to be good to help balance the new information coming in. The last thing I want to reiterate is the picking up of information. I feel like this is going to be so rampant. And again, this can be wonderful, you know, picking up new information. However, it can be used against us, always, right? And so just being very aware of what feels strong, what feels true to you is going to be very important to be aware of at this time. So we will dig into this more as we move through, but that is your bottom line for this Mars in Gemini transit. I will also say, if you are a Gemini or Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, we will be the ones or if you have like strong Gemini, this will be the ones who are feeling this energy most. And it may be good to stay aware of where Mars is in the sign of Gemini, because you may be able to experience what Mars feels like for you. So, and that's always an interesting thing, can deepen your level of understanding of astrology. Okay, so let's dig in today. Our last day of Sun in Leo. I am divine love. You are divine love. Holding strong in that energy before Virgo comes in, because when Virgo comes in, suddenly we're flooded with the body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart, right? So that heart piece is so important. So really knowing, owning, feeling that love is an important foundation for Virgo. Speaking of the feels, we've got the moon moving through Cancer. Moon moving through Cancer will be squaring Jupiter and Chiron today. So we may have some uncomfortable situations over who we are and what we're feeling. And again, this may even tie into some of the Mars stuff. Tuning into like what you're feeling in regards to the communications, what you're hearing, all of that. That's another layer of understanding. Cancer comes after Gemini, so it's a little bit more advanced, but you know, we've been through a Cancer transit already this year. We can go there. So tuning into that feeling can be beneficial. But yeah, the feeling is kind of uncomfortable in this energy. Speaking of uncomfortable and our thoughts, we also have Mercury connecting to Pluto. Like I said, Mercury is finishing up in the sign of Virgo. Will be going into Libra. Mercury is also in its pre-retrograde shadow period. So we will have Mercury retrograde back into a trine with Pluto. We're going to have 3 of these passes. So we can empower our mind. We can empower our mind around our healing. But part of being around that, Moon square Chiron, is allowing ourselves the discomfort of the feeling. So keep that in mind. Sometimes the discomfort can be part of your overall healing experience. It can be a part of your overall empowerment experience. A lot of times we find ourselves running from what is not comfortable. And yet a lot of times when we face what is uncomfortable, we can shift so much. So keep that in mind in and through this energy today. That's something with Gemini. Gemini will be like, no thanks. I don't want to go there. I just want to keep things good. So be aware of that during this transit as well. Like I said, the sun is going to shift into Virgo 8:16 p.m. I will do another video by then. This has gone on long enough. But we do have our Virgo card, the participation card, body, mind, spirit, soul, heart. So right now focus on that heart, because here comes some strong body, mind vibes. Here we have the mind card. The mind card's in reverse. So it's like, try not to get overwhelmed by these mental energies. See where you can stay in your creation power in and through this energy. The politics card in reverse. This is really good for Mars and Gemini as well. You know, Gemini is the sign of the twins, and that's another thing I will notice about Gemini energy, is that sometimes it will mimic another. It's not even necessarily on purpose. This isn't something to hate on Gemini. It's just something to be aware of. Again, with Mars and Gemini, we all may find ourselves doing this, but this is a card that reminds us, like, we don't have to put on masks. It is so glorious to be yourself. So keep that in mind in and through this energy. I'm going to leave that here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.